Back on the Morning Brew, and I'm Larry Aarons. Our guest co-host this week is Nika Allen, who you were with the New Mexico Tech Council.
Yep, operations manager of the New Mexico Technology Council. Eric Granswitmer, our community manager, was just sitting here. And then we had Roxanne, who is one of our basically community partners at the Tech Council.
Well, that's
working
fantastic.
with creative startups.
Yeah, you know those guys.
Yeah.
You may know this guy too. Jeffery Candelaria is with us. I've known you, Jeffrey, for a long time.
Long time.
Business Development Officer with Bank of the West. And a lot of people in town know Jeffrey. You've been doing some radio, and you're writing a book, I hear.
That's right.
What's it all about?
Well, I'm writing a book called Hippopotamus Sales. Essentially what it's about, as you know, when you get into a corporate platform, lots of folks, particularly in sales, begin to assimilate kind of a corporate script and a corporate identity inside the corporate culture. And I think what happens, at least during the sales process, when you're connecting with clients on an ongoing basis, is you lose your identity. And so Hippopotamus Sales is a book that talks about be genuine with people, period. No matter what you do, particularly in sales, because at the end of the day, people will end up doing sales with people they like and trust. So it's really kind of a controversial concept, but I mean, I work for a bank, but with all respect to my bank, I'm not going to forego my identity and who I am to assimilate into a corporate kind of a mentality. Clearly, I'm going to adhere to the protocols of banking and good practices and so on and so forth, but I'm going to always be Jeffrey, just like Larry, be genuine. And that's why people in this community for 30 to 40 years have resonated with you, Larry, because you are a personality that transcends even the morning brew. So Hippopotamus Sales says, if you're a giraffe, metaphorically speaking, be a giraffe. Don't try to be a crocodile. Be a hippopotamus if you're a hippopotamus, and own the river and be proud of what you are.
Own the river, I love it. I like that. I've been with you many times, Jeffrey, because I bump into you all over town.
Right.
And what's interesting about you is that you don't sit with people and go, come on, do business with my bank. That's not how if it happens, it's great. But you're more in the relationship business, and you'll help people whether or not it helps you and your job at the bank.
That's exactly right. I think I learned that because I worked for the Hispano Chamber for 20 years as their marketing director. And when you work in a chamber environment, you're really an ambassador to business and the community. So really you're serving in a stewardship role, economic development for the community. So when the bank hired me, I decided I'm going to even create my own events called ABQ Connect Now, which are my own version of networking and strategic alignment and all of those things. But most of the folks that attend are not necessarily my client. But it's still the right thing to do, because if I can connect you to someone else that I know in my network, that's real economic development. That's making a real difference in this community.
Yeah. Great concept, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I love seeing this kind of idea, and I've seen it a couple times recently, and I think that those are the things that are really going to be pulling our community together and pushing us forward in economic development.
Well, I frankly am a pragmatist, and anyone that knows me knows I get things done. And I'm not always the most well-liked person in the room, but you can rest assured I want to make something happen. And it's usually around the area of business. So even when I decided to create this ABQ Connect Now platform, I really didn't even ask permission. I just did it.
There you go.
Because too many folks talk about economic development and I'm fighting for your whatever. Come on.
Yeah.
All that political rhetoric nonsense.
Right.
I mean, I think we're all tired of that. So that's why I appreciate what you do, Eric, others, because they're making real economic development happen right before our eyes, one person at a time. Mm-hmm. To me, that's making a difference.
That's really, it's a great style, Jeffrey. You've always had it. Like I said, I've been with you many times and bumped into you in a Starbucks, and you'll say, hey, you got to meet Joe or Mary over here, and they do so-and-so.
Absolutely.
And you connect people,
right.
And that's what it's about.
Well, underneath ABQ Connect Now, which is a monthly business event, is what I call real strategic alignment. You know, you can read that about that in a book. But real strategic alignment is what I just did outside. The guy that runs this automobile platform that
Yeah.
has a very philanthropic component to it.
Yeah.
I aligned him and will align him, he doesn't know that yet, with somebody that's going to do business with him. And that's what business is about.
It's the best. Always good to see you.
My pleasure, Larry.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank
Nice
you.
to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Jeffery Candelaria, he is Business Development Officer for the Bank of the West here in Albuquerque. And chances are you'll run into Jeffrey somewhere, and it's a good thing. Hey, we're coming back with more on the Brew after this.